He was stabbed in the back by his best friend, left bleeding on a dungeon floor, and the last thing he heard before dying was, "You were never meant to stand beside us." But death was not the end, because the moment Haruto Kage opened his eyes again, he was no longer human.
No, Haruto.
He was the cursed prince, chosen by the shadows themselves.
Mine.
Tokyo, year 2026. Without warning, massive gates began tearing open above the city. Monsters came through. Dungeons appeared underground, and ordinary people awakened strange powers called blessings. Some became heroes, some became hunters, and some became monsters wearing human faces. Haruto Kage was not one of the chosen. No rank, no blessing, no powerful family, just a quiet 17-year-old boy.
Nothing.
Who kept surviving by staying invisible. But when his school received permission to enter a low-level dungeon, Haruto believed, for the first time, that maybe this was his chance to change his life.
I'm used to it.
He was wrong.
Maybe.
The dungeon was supposed to be safe, a training raid, a place where weak students could gain experience without risking their lives. Haruto entered with 3 classmates. Ren, his best friend.
You good?
Mika, the girl Haruto secretly liked. And Daichi, the loudest guy in class, who always smiled like he already owned the world.
Too easy.
At first, everything went smoothly. They killed weak monsters, collected small crystals, and then, deep inside the dungeon, they found something that should not have been there. A black artifact, floating above a stone altar, wrapped in red chains. The moment Haruto saw it, his shadow moved.
My shadow.
Just a little, almost like it was reaching for the artifact. But before he could say anything, Ren stepped forward and smiled. Haruto thought Ren was protecting him. That was the first mistake, because the next second, a blade entered his back. Haruto froze, not because of the pain, but because he recognized the hand holding the knife. Ren leaned close to his ear and whispered, "Sorry, Haruto."
Sorry, Haruto. This artifact is wasted on someone like you.
This artifact is wasted on someone like you.
No!
Haruto fell to his knees.
Look at him.
Mika screamed. Daichi laughed, and Ren pulled the blade out slowly. Then he said the words Haruto would never forget.
You were never meant to stand beside us.
You were never meant to stand beside us. Blood spread across the dungeon floor. Haruto reached toward the artifact, but Ren kicked his hand away. The last thing Haruto saw was his best friend taking the artifact, while his own shadow stretched beneath him like a grave. Then everything went black. There was no heaven, no light, no peace, only silence. Then, a voice spoke from inside the darkness. Cold, mechanical, ancient.
Host confirmed dead. Betrayal condition fulfilled. Blood offering accepted. Shadow Dominion system activated.
Haruto could not move, could not breathe, could not even scream. But somehow, he heard every word.
You were rejected by the light. Therefore, you have been chosen by the shadow. Reincarnation, target selected. Name, Raven Shadow. Status, cursed prince of a fallen bloodline. Unique authority, unlocked. Shadow Dominion.
And then, Haruto opened his eyes.
Where? Am I?
He woke up on a cold stone floor. Not in Tokyo, not in the dungeon, but inside a ruined royal chamber lit by dying candles. His hands were different. His clothes were torn black silk. His body felt stronger, but also broken, poisoned, and weak. Then memories that did not belong to him flooded his mind. Raven Shadow, 17th Prince of the fallen Shadow House, hated by the royal court,
Reincarnation complete.
mocked by nobles, called cursed since birth. And tonight, he was supposed to die. Haruto slowly touched his chest. No knife wound, no blood. But the pain of betrayal was still there. And when he looked into the cracked mirror, 2 red eyes looked back. Not scared, not helpless,
Then I'll survive.
hungry. Raven tried to stand, but before he could take one step, his shadow moved without him. It stretched across the wall, twisted like smoke, then slowly raised its head as if it was alive. Raven whispered, "What the hell am I?" A red system window appeared before his eyes.
First quest issue. Absorb your first shadow. Target dungeon beast beneath the palace. Reward first shadow soldier. Failure penalty, death.
What the hell?
Raven stared at the word death, then laughed once, coldly. He had already died once today. A second death did not scare him anymore. Beneath the palace was a sealed dungeon, a place where the royal family threw failures, prisoners, and cursed children. Raven remembered this place from the prince's memories. This was where they planned to dump his corpse.
What happened here?
But this time, he walked in alive.
I have to keep moving. So much blood.
At the end of the corridor, a small dungeon beast waited. A twisted goblin with black veins crawling across its skin. Weak, ugly, but still strong enough to kill the old Raven. The beast charged. Raven's body moved before his mind could react. His hands sliced through the air, and his shadow followed, like a blade. The goblin's head hit the floor. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then its corpse began to melt into darkness. The goblin's shadow rose from its body. It screamed without a voice. Raven stepped back, but the system gave him only one command. Claim it. Raven reached out. The shadow wrapped around his arm.
Claim it.
Cold, violent, starving. It tried to bite into his soul, but Raven smiled. Because compared to betrayal, this was nothing. He crushed the shadow in his hand, and the dungeon shook. Absorption successful. Skill acquired. Shadow Strike. First soldier created. Goblin Shadow Guard. Behind Raven, the dead goblin rose again. But now its body was made of black smoke. Its eyes glowed red,
So
and
even
it lowered
death
its head
can
to
kneel.
him, not as a monster, as a servant. Raven looked at it and whispered, "So even death can kneel." But Raven's first victory did not stay hidden for long. Footsteps echoed through the corridor. 3 young nobles entered the dungeon with swords drawn. They were laughing.
Finally.
They had come to confirm the cursed prince was dead.
He's less than nothing.
But when they saw
fool.
Raven standing over the corpse, their smiles vanished. One noble pointed his sword at him. "You should be dead."
You should be dead.
Raven turned slowly,
I was.
his red eyes glowing in the dark. "I was."
I told you I'd be back.
The noble stepped back. But pride is a stupid thing. So he shouted, "Kill him!" The first noble rushed forward. Raven did not move. He only lifted one finger. And from behind him, The Goblin Shadow Guard disappeared into the floor. A second later, a black spear erupted from the noble shadow. The noble screamed. The other two froze. Raven walked past them like they were already corpses, then said, "Run."
Run.
They did. At the dungeon entrance, Raven heard chains, heavy, metallic, dragged across stone. Guards were bringing someone down into the darkness. A girl with silver hair, white armor cracked and stained with blood, and wings chained tightly behind her back. She was not crying. She was not begging. Even with a blade at her throat, her eyes still looked proud. One guard laughed. "The White Fang traitor dies here." Raven watched silently. The girl raised her head. Their eyes met.
You came.
And for one strange second, Raven felt his shadow
My
react.
angel.
Not with hunger, with recognition. The system window appeared again. Rare soul detected. Execution target, Illyra Whitefang. Recommended action, claim her shadow. The guard lifted his sword. Illyra closed her eyes. But before the blade could fall, the torches went out.
Told you to stop.
Every shadow in the dungeon bent toward Raven. The guards turned around
No more.
and saw the cursed prince walking toward them, with a dead monster kneeling behind him. Raven stopped in front of Illyra, then smiled,
Now you're here to
not
finish
kindly,
me?
dangerously. He reached out his hand and said, "If you want to live, step into my shadow." Illyra opened her eyes and whispered one word that should have been impossible. "Haruto?" Raven froze, because in this world,
To live.
no one should know that name.
Haruto.
End of episode 1. If you want episode 2, subscribe and comment Shadow King, because the next time Raven opens the dungeon gate, his killer may already be waiting on the other side.